Let's begin. It is fun. It is fun, and with us already having done Stanley Parable, I think it's quite funny that we're gonna be playing it again.
Decided to go to the
Thank you, Jakob, so much for gifting us up to Sniperian. That is your second tonight, dude. We are only 3 away from a bean.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes, this is not the...
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes.
Yes, truly
they didn't change a thing.
It had really been worth, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, no. Aha.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Right.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Are you sure?
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the
it's
fact is that
so
the story
nice to
has
see
been
the
about
graphical
nothing but
upgrades.
You all this time.
The game looks
There's
so
someone
good.
You've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself.
Yes.
To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Has she?
That's her, Stanley.
Yes.
You need to be...
Hello?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
No.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Yes.
Who'd want to commit their life
I
to
used
you?
to. I had.
I'm trying to make
I
a
once
point here,
had.
Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Okay, let's check it out.
This is a very sad
we've been here
story
before.
about the death of a man named Stanley.
Stanley. Press N.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Rude. J.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him.
Now he
except that
soiled
he's chosen
himself.
his life.
Press R. Please press. What happens if I ignore him? Okay.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his
He
desk,
has the patience.
Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into
He
the
does.
unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day
I love
that
what
he
you did with the
returned to
place.
work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen.
It's
to
like being
him.
at work now. Desk is here.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job.
Yeah.
First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
And that's where
The
we are
thought
now.
excited him terribly.
V.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either.
So
At
he
last,
picked the right.
choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
F.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and
Room is getting
destinations.
dirty.
Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. and he called it the Stanley Parable.
You?
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be?
Wife gone,
In reality,
equipment in.
all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing
His
has
desk
changed.
is huge.
The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets which life is the real one.
Like, I personally would love this size desk.
And I'm trying to tell him this.
Like,
that in
really,
this
I
world,
would love
he
it.
can never be anything but an observer. That as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me.
Nope.
He won't stop.
Nope.
Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me?
No.
How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
R.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to.
No.
But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time
I want to
he'll
open
see.
stuff.
Maybe this time.
Coffee.
And I tried again.
What does coffee
And Stanley
say?
pushed a button.
Please
And I
die.
tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
We're dead. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting room where you hold meets. Because
When
that's where
Stanley
meetings
came to
are
a set
held.
of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Nope.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Ooh.
Stanley decided to go up
Broom
to
closet.
his Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're gonna go to the boss. We want to check out the executive bathroom. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast. Money crisp. Hi, Kathy. Will the boss see me? Great. Wrong way. I love it.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Yes. I remember when we did the speed run of Stanley Parable. We're gonna do it again today.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a
I
bit
will need
peculiar.
Zero to
It was a stirring
keep
of
track of
emotion in
time.
his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
Escape?
Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Oh. Is that a matter of fact?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
He wants me to.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Mm-hmm. Are we dying? Oh. We're not dead.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is.
Yeah, we are
Perhaps
gonna
his
die.
death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In
Huh?
a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
What?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive
The
as
1%
ever.
succeeded.
What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you
Oh.
long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making
Oh.
life the same.
Here's
Do you
the
see now?
office.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
I love this. Lol. Button sounds. Oh, let's do button sounds. All the nice Half-Life sounds. Okay. Oh, nice. Warzone. Wait, what? Alien base. Now this is fantastic. Wait, what? Oh yeah, the freedom ending. Yeah.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to...
I just saved myself.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
This time we
Stanley
didn't die.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Could be. New content.
Oh, new content?
Yes.
What does that mean?
I don't
New
know.
Content.
We'll find out. Boop boop doop boop doop boop doop boop doop.
Hello,
Oh.
and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Thank you.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers.
Yes.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
More game.
Please step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful.
Love it.
I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Let's go.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but
That's
I'm
gonna
sure
be fine.
it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Hello?
Is it broken? What's going on here?
Hello?
Should we be moving somewhere?
Hello?
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The
All
jump
right.
circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
We're gonna run out of jumps. I see what you're doing, because if you run out of the circle, you can't jump. This game is trolling me. Bonk. God damn it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
No.
It's just elevators and jumping.
We're gonna
Is
come
this
back
what
to the
passes
jump
for
circle. We
exciting
can
new
do
content?
50 more.
If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait.
Ooh.
There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for enjoying the new content.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley?
that
This
is
is
it.
what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap
It's perfect.
expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable.
Oh,
It's
not
my fault,
Twitter.
Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks.
Let's
Just
try.
you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Wait a minute. To the Stanley Parable. And something changed. Where at? Whoa. Yeah, that is what it used to look like. Ooh.
Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Yes. Home from work? Nice.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and
Yeah?
how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Look at this place.
The memory zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release?
It does.
Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, and over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley
10
Parable.
out of 10.
Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created.
Ever.
That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore.
That's
it's just
not
a husk
true.
Now, a lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Okay, so we can't go that way. Rude. Person of the year.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com.
Ooh,
The Stanley
GameSpot.
Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9
It's
out of
good.
10. Don't you get it, Stanley?
Yeah.
The game was perfect.
Yeah.
It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content.
Well,
It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
well. The serious room? I want to go to the serious room. Are we going to the basement?
These were simpler times, Stanley. What I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
This is
Oh,
sus.
no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in
Steam
years.
reviews.
I can't even imagine what's being collected
Here comes
down
the
here.
stinkers.
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Yeah, interactive art and interactive experience. Stanley Parable is not a game.
You
Oh.
see, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art.
Unfunny.
I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the
So
game is
many
already such a
Steam
densely
reviews.
layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them. Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
No.
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
It's not
Oh, goodness.
preachy.
This is actually quite shocking for me. I always
I love
to
that
be
they kept
honest,
the
I had
names.
always thought of the game's
I don't know if the
dialogue
names
as
are
being rather
real.
terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the
Hey,
game. to
we
get
got
it to
good
feel as
reviews.
light
I
and
see
airy
good
as it-
reviews.
Well, I always thought it
I see
did.
thumbs up. I see
Maybe it
thumbs up.
wasn't.
I see blue.
Dear.
Good
What an
reviews.
awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I
The
let
nice
these people
Husseini?
down. Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remember. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A
Well-
skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews.
Well, he
from
did
the
play it
record.
for
Only
9.8
positive reviews of the
hours.
Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer.
Just saying.
Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time
Can we
for
skip
me
again?
to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Ooh. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not... Stanley!
Yeah?
Stanley,
Yeah?
please don't push the button again.
Why?
It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're... Oh, Stanley.
Oh, Stanley.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Tree died.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me just...
Hello? I think he died. I think he died. Oh. Hello.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth.
Oh my god, I love it. Hello? Let's see. No doors. No? Guess we'll have to do some skippage.
The end is never the end, 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 is never...
He's not dead yet. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Let's skip. So we got a little bit of daylight. Can we get up there? No. Oh, wow. You have me calculating the factor in which the button scales. 12 to 24. The hell? Oh, whoops. Oh, we have an opening. We're free. for free. And now we can enjoy life. If it is any life. Well, it died. Or got reset.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Could be. New content?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Nope.
What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated,
Okay.
Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
That was nice. I gotta say, that was nice. Looting. Sparks.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yes.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates.
Ending?
Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you.
Thank
I'm
you.
here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are.
Oh.
We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Going by the shoddy math, after 10 clicks of the button, you should have traveled 261,784.8 years into the future.
Good job, you made
Damn.
it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk You should have been careful, you should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending, now it's an ending.
I love this.
believe in you, I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything.
Nope.
Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
There we go. See, we're finding new stuff. I love this.
All of his co-workers were gone.
This is what it's all about.
Stanley decided to go to
Finding
the
new
meeting room.
stuff.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Could be.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yes.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look,
Yeah, I
it's
have.
a new passageway.
I have.
Oh, surprise.
Whee! Let's go! Yes, I have. So, but you actually recommended it to me. It is on my wish list. But I haven't played it, though.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
God
Each
damn
bore
it.
the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them,
I don't dare go
monitored
on the
in this
catwalk
place
again.
where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this
Is
the
it
only
faster?
reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Whoop.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
It's
It was
possibility.
unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible?
Yes.
Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machine...
Thank you for the lurk, Kraken. I appreciate it.
blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
This is how you end the game the
Unshackled
proper
himself
way.
from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
I don't know if you guys knew this
Where
one.
had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
So happy. This is how you're meant to beat the game. The original ending. And now we're back into the game. So this is where we go deep dive now on mysterious content. Because we could go for the speed run, but the speed run is not possible yet.
A soft wind blew outside, and
we have to do
a
lot of different things to do speed run.
After. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Let's see some new content.
You noticed my sign? Yes.
Yes.
I have something very exciting to show you.
Exciting? Yes. Yes, please. We've been here before. What could it be?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this Ultra Deluxe version has turned out to be.
Nah,
the
it's fine.
Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this Ultra Deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. Oh,
yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Stoiss. The Stanley Parable.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean?
Well,
but the Stanley Parable 2. Now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear,
yeah.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
This way to the show floor.
That if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting
new features,
concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or... Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay, so we have reassurance bucket. What do we have? Ooh, free achievement. Aw. Why he looks so sad? I want to get the free achievement. I want it.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Typical. They cheated us. Yet again, they cheated us. They don't want us to win. It's just never gonna happen. Okay, we're gonna go back. Let's see. Oh, what is this?
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Infinite hole? It won't end? Oh, the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
How many jumps do I get?
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
Fuck.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
Collectibles. Yes. Can you find them all? I can try.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
1 out of 6.
God, it really is the
Now we have a
worst when
task.
you collect everything in a video game, and then they give you a big
We gotta catch
fancy
'em all.
reward for it. Absolutely
Guys, we gotta catch 'em all now.
tragic.
Okay, let's go check out the reassurance buttons. Wait, what? No screenshots?
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
Get well
You know,
someday.
Sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
God damn it.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on. Come now. You've already made your choice. It's true that you chose badly, but we all have to move on from our mistakes.
Okay. He completely ignored me. That's new. Oh. What's new? Epilogue?
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes,
Yeah.
We'll go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
The button that says the name of the player playing the game. Let's check that out.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself,
Road
what
to
do
the
players
perfect
really
button?
want?
Too
And
big?
Of course,
Too
the first
small?
and most obvious
Just right?
answer is that they want to be individually
I'm gonna go too small.
recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of
So
this
now we're
feature.
Jim?
Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
Okay, now we're
I
Jim.
want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and
The
waking
life of
as
Jim.
falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams
I'm
crumble
so
into
Jim right
dust.
now.
Do you feel it deeply?
Yeah.
Are you really, truly Jim right
Yeah.
now?
Yes.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's
Would
take
it?
a break from the Jim button. I'm too
Okay.
emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim.
Jim.
I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll
No.
start to lose
No,
all
no, no, no,
sense
no.
of who you
No, 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 no,
actually
no, 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 no. We're Jim.
Jim.
Hey. We were having so much fun being Jim. So we're gonna go check out the bucket. I want to see the bucket.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable too. That would
No, that would be
save me the
stupid.
work of finishing this feature.
Then you add flavored text? Oh, I can do that. Let's do that. I am making that command straight away. Exclamation Jim. There we go. I'm giving the points. Well, I hope it's worth it. I don't know about the collectibles. Do I have to just go through the collectible again and again and again? No, that one's closed. So I don't know where all the Stanleys are. I want to find the collectibles. Jim.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with
The
game.
reassurance bucket.
It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true.
I doubt it.
As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you
Fair
imagine
enough.
what pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on.
But how do I get it?
Try.
Oh.
Can you feel it?
Yes.
The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay. So now we're carrying a bucket.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I'm confused. Please no screenshots. Or freaking do it anyway. So we've tried the button. That's a 2. And we have a stairway that leads to Settings World Champion.
Aha! I can see you've gotten the Settings World Champion achievement. Well done.
You've have
experienced every setting. Traveled to all corners of the settings menu. There's nothing you haven't seen.
Thank you for the lyric, Manda.
So, just for you, in the Stanley Parable 2, I'm including an entirely new setting. Something called bumpscosity. What exactly is bumpscosity? Well, I haven't quite figured that part out yet, but I just know that you'll be able to adjust it on some sort of slider, and that it'll be available from the settings menu. We'll sort the rest. Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Oh my fucking god.
Okay, and I guess we're back in the hole now.
Yeah.
Did you really need to see it again? I
Yeah.
don't know what else there is to say, Stanley. It's an infinite hole. It's exactly what you're doing right now, but forever. There really are so many other fascinating exhibits that I
But can it truly be
I really
infinite?
spent quite a lot of time on all
I guess
this,
it will
and I
loop.
would very much like to show you some more of them. How about we go ahead and press that teleport button again so we can get back to what's really important about... Oh, goodness. Well, this is rather embarrassing, Stanley. I'll
Found
be
the
honest
button.
with you. I truly did
The
not
bottom.
believe that anyone would actually stay in the hole.
We'll
long
have fun
enough
with the
to
infinite
hit the
possibilities.
bottom.
Sleep.
Yes, I know. I told
See
you
you
the
later.
hole was infinite.
No
but
worries.
Come on.
Have a good sleep.
Who actually wants to fall forever? The hole was plenty deep. It was more than deep enough, in my opinion. Maybe it's you who likes falling too much. Maybe you're the problem.
The bucket of cell
Look, things got a little
delusion.
heated there. I think we both
This
said some
bucket
things we
will
didn't
cause the
mean.
holder
Why don't we
to
just
imagine
put
voices
all this
narrating
behind
their
us and
life,
agree to just
causing the
call
holder to
hole
question their existence and whether or not
infinite?
they are the
Does
bucket
that
controlling
work
the
for you?
human or
Then
thinking
go
they
ahead
are
and
the
press
bucket.
the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole. and
I
we
am
can
at the
move
top.
on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
I am at the top. Don't worry. Don't worry. Anything interesting over here? Nope. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I think we can keep on going. We're gonna go to the exit. Because we have seen it all.
All right. Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready
Yep.
to move on now?
Yeah. No screenshots.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere.
Fun.
Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
This is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
What did you do?
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
I see collectibles.
I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen
Ultimate
that says with
Edition?
bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. The Stanley Parable 2. We did it, guys. We did it. We unlocked Stanley Parable 2. Not bad. Oh my god, now we have the balloons.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a Stanley picked up the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
No, I knew it.
The bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him?
No.
Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation. You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
We'll take it.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
Fair enough.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
It's just to feel safe.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
But I still have the bucket with me.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves. The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Bucket, it's gonna be fine.
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket
Maybe?
been told to do things it didn't wish to do?
Yes.
What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof.
So now we're just gonna take it with us.
Operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
And as far as I know, if you take the bucket with you out, it's gonna
content.
change the ending.
Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
I
And
think.
as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this... Stanley and the bucket waited
We'll find
in
out.
darkness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away.
Freedom!
Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door.
See, he's having a
The bucket
conversation
wanted to
about the
learn to roller
bucket,
skate.
so it did change
Stanley
the
wanted
ending.
to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and to...
What?
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was
Hello?
Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until
hell?
finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming
No,
presence
no,
of
no,
the
no,
bucket,
no, 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 no,
needed
no,
the
no, no.
soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say
I'm not
about
allowed
it.
to leave with the bucket?
Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To
Yeah.
be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were
Maybe we
gone.
shouldn't take
What
the
could it
bucket
mean?
next time.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he
Ignore
had
the
simply
bucket.
missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on... But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
And died.
Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. How
See, that's an
wonderful.
interesting ending.
Stanley was alone. Finally.
But
This
I
is
saw
great, he
I
thought
saw a
to himself.
collectible.
This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Let's go get that collectible. I know we're not gonna get anything. I just want to get it. I just want to go get
the
it.
correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yes.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Let's see if we go this way.
Another miniature Stanley figurine.
Now we got
With
half of them.
You know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like
Stanlerine?
that. Another
being real?
Stanlerine under your belt.
Oh.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path. You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you? What a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all
Would've
the
been fun,
absurd
though.
adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet
All the
each and
dialogue
every
tapes.
time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination, you must absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate storytelling. It must be so simple to be you. Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
I don't think he likes me.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not
I wanna
the
try
correct
one
way
more
to the
thing.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
This is
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee
straight up
lounge first,
messed up.
just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yes. No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
You
I
sure?
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. What? Really?
Yeah.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for
Danger
others?
everywhere.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do
But I
want
wanna
to
go
help you, to show
explore.
you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Well, in that case...
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
No.
Stanley walked... Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you
Yes.
see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem
Okay.
is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Yes.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I want it to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Ooh.
What do we want? What are we
Space?
looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I feel... No, wait. Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley,
It's gonna
let
be
me
fine.
stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley. No!
Wait, what?
Oh, thank God. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
But that's gonna be the fun part.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you
No.
do that for me?
No.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game?
Yes.
You'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it?
No.
You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's
Yeah.
going to restart, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm going back.
Okay, let's
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to
let's
himself.
try going
That's
down the
all I need.
stairs.
If I can make it through
because
this door,
Sobaluba was
I can make it
suggesting
through
we
them
do
all.
that. So let's try that.
When
See what
Stanley
we can
came
find.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Room closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed...
Hi, Mullet Man. How are you doing?
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Right now, I'm just having fun with the game, just
When
looping
Stanley
around.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How we can find them?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
You're getting close now,
There's one.
Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then.
Yes.
Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Figler and Narines. Oh, nice. That sounds fun. Derby.
And there it is. The last
Got it.
Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
True. I was gonna go to the boss's office.
Here's the door. Just go.
6th place, nice. That's not bad. Whee!
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape.
Although this passageway had the word of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
Let's start again. I have an idea.
Stanley, I'm sorry,
What?
but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't
But
it
they're
just the most
mine.
intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story.
I
but
love
won't you
how
please
they're
indulge me
messing with the
one more
3D.
trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit
Memory
the
zone.
figurines. Just one more time.
How are you doing this fine night? I'm doing well. We're ending soon. I'm just doing a short little stream before I need to go do some work. Oh, we're going down.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again.
7 out of
Stanley.
6. Seems legit. Oh, so we're back to
And
here?
was the second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own just by poking
Yeah.
around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith.
No,
in you to
it's
find
fine.
any
I
of them,
started late
let alone
too.
6.
As you can see on
But you
running time, we
continue
haven't
to
been going
surprise
that
me in
long.
all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
Where
Okay,
are
let's do a little
Sir
quiz.
Blue Red?
Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
Yes.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the warehouse. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them.
Are we gonna go to
I'm glad
12?
these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Really? I didn't know that.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room,
We
but it's here
didn't.
in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
We didn't.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember
Yeah.
it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Video? How you found it. The narrator. This is like top tier Windows Movie Maker transitions. Oh man, these blue transitions. I love it.
Takes
you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Ooh. And then the last one. The bathroom.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the boss's bathroom. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others.
It was
Who
the last
can
one.
truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
True.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment.
True.
Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Yay. And also, that marks,
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
What?
Okay, yes, the boss's bathroom. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going, I want more.
What the fuck?
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
I remember the video.
Yes, I love that video. Still don't remember the people.
Oh man, I love this.
Still no memory of this one. Good room though. A solid room.
Yeah.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we
Would
resisted
it,
the
though?
temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes,
Yep.
I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
And now the first.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories.
And now we have 18
Stanley.
out of
I want to
6.
keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
Collectibles. The jump.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on.
Yeah.
I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. Oh, yes, the 2 doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well.
And before everything else,
And then
there
we're
was
back.
your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I
the
feel
loading
I can
screen?
remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions, he would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again.
I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore.
You can do it. I believe in you.
But he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Of a man named Stanley. I love how we went full circle on that one. Wow.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
No.
Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Yes.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
Yes.
just to admire it.
Yes.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yes.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We're doing it.
Here's the door, just go.
But yeah, getting to the speedrun achievement is going to be a bit of a task. But I actually think this is a good place to end it.